Well, we're just about ready to go to the track with Pete's Camaro. I've got brand new front TBM brakes, brand new spindle mount wheels from Bill of Specialties, brand new double bead locks out back with a different offset to try to bring the wheel out just a little bit. It freaking looks killer. I'm going back to Indiana in a week and a half so Pete can drive the car, and we're going to test another car that he bought and maybe even one more car that he has recently acquired. But for this one, I wanted to show you guys, it's pretty cool. I've never done anything with a ProCharger. This one has a race drive, which I'll flip this around and show you. This one has a race drive. So it's got basically a crank pulley that bolts onto the snout of the crank that's got a rubber coupler right there that's hooked to the back of a whole drive unit, which the drive unit spins. The drive unit spins down there, which in turn spins this gear here, and that gear spins this gear. This gear right here spins that big old boy right there. But what I think is cool about this race drive is A, it's not bolted, hard bolted to the crank, which I think is a little bit easier on the crank. And B, you pull this back cover off, it's got an O-ring on it, so there's no gasket. It's got like 10 bolts, Allen head bolts around it. You pull it off, and I've already done it, but you can change these two gears. So I called up ProCharger, and Groot helped me. Called up ProCharger, here's our old gears. I gave them, basically I just gave them the engine RPM at, I think at the finish line, and the boost numbers we were seeing. They did the math, they said, okay, well that means you're spinning the ProCharger at like, I think it was only like 46,000 RPM, which this ProCharger can be spun up to 72,000 RPM. So they did the math for me, and they got me the gears that are in there now that will spin this thing at, I think, 68,000 RPM. So we were seeing 17 or 18 pounds of boost. Now, hopefully we're around 25, maybe even 30. So that's all to be determined with what RPM and all that. So we've got more boosties, better brakes, better looks, and I went with a Mickey Thompson stiff wall with an inner tube. So we've made a lot of changes to the car. It went a 520, which is pretty conservative, and I was not leaving very hard, but I hadn't plotted the rear suspension or anything like that. It was kind of just to test the car out and make sure it was safe. Well, it's safe, everything's good. I've went over it. So now I've got the 4-link plotted, and it's actually where I would want it to be. So I'm going to, we've already turned the boost up, so I'm going now with the stiffer tire and the tubes. I think I can really get after it in the 60 foot, which is only a 132, I think. So I would love to see at least like a 118 or something out of this thing, and hopefully some 470s or 480s with the more boost and the better 60 foot. So I just wanted to give you guys an update, show you some cool stuff about ProCharger that I never knew existed. I never knew how they worked. They were black magic to me. Obviously, I've seen the cog pulleys and the pulley drive, but with the whole crank drive setup, I never knew exactly how it works. And I think some of them have chains, but this one's gear driven. Don't quote me on the chains. That could be totally wrong. But either way, it's a fairly simple deal. I thought I was going to have to pull the whole front of this thing apart, which I didn't have to. I didn't even have to drain the water because there's a water line right behind it. But this cover is actually really thin. Right here. That cover's really thin and comes off really easy. So they sent me some oil. You just put the cover back on and put one bottle of this in there and you're good to go. It's got a dipstick in that cover also. You can check the fluid. It says to change the fluid after every single pass, which I don't know if anybody actually does that. But either way, I'm excited to get this thing back out. I'm gonna order a bunch of spark plugs and at least try to get after it a little more in the 60s, so that way we can read plugs, try to dial the 60 down, and then take this thing back to Indiana for Pete. So we're getting there. I've also got some pretty exciting news for the Chevelle, but that's actually, I was gonna say that's for a later date, but either way, I'll just tell you right now. The old trailer's gone, and I traded it for a motor, which that motor is a big Brock. And I'm really excited about that because that's the guy said it's a 477, so I think it's 100 over 454, but it's got H-beam rods, old rectangle port, cast iron, 990 heads, open chamber. It's got a Dominator, MSD, all that stuff. So he said it went 640s in his Camaro. If it went like a 690 or 7.0 in the Chevelle, it'd be great. That'd be a great, just, you know, street terror upper. But I'm putting the big block in the Chevelle because I want to do brackets and parts for the Chevelle, and I know as soon as I make parts for it, they're gonna say, does it work with a big block? And I'm gonna be able to say, yes, it does. So I'm gonna give this motor out of this to my dad. I'm gonna give him the parts back that he gave me for it because he got a new farm truck that he wants to put, rebuild the motor for. So he can rebuild that motor without having to pull one out of his truck. I can put the big block in it, the turbo 350, and then I'd really love to get a trick chassis 9-inch with that's a little more narrow, get some better offset wheels, but that's all in the future. Either way, that's going to be my street thumper. I can't wait. I don't know why. I'm excited about the big block. Uncle Sam's kind of sad back there. He got put in the corner. I've been working on Eddie's firewall, and it's almost ready for paint. So we're just slowly but surely getting along. So this car's almost ready to go home, and then it's back to Eddie's car and get it ready to go home. And also look what's hanging out in here. I've also got exciting news for that. Me and Tin Soldiers have something in the works for that deal, so stay tuned for that. But either way, I'm gonna get this done, and then you'll see some track videos. Hey, Momo. Hey. Trucker clock, who wants it? Whew. You ready? What? Yep. Pete just bought himself a brand new race car on top of his other 2 brand new race cars he just bought, and we're here to help him get them sorted out. He's never been in a race car, so we're going to help him make some passes. We just made the first pass in this car that is supposed to run like 410s, 430s, 440s on a mild tune-up. So that was the first hit in it. Went a 120 60 foot, and I felt it separate really fast. So I think we just need to tighten things up. But we're here testing today a bunch of badass cars. What'd you think about that?
Be rowdy. Be rowdy.
I'll let you get yours in there first.
Tina, how's it feel to be back at a racetrack? Give me your thoughts.
Very hot, but great.
It ain't that hot.
It's muggy.
I'm used to Arkansas. All right, everybody knows Tina. We got Mr. Bobby Scott. Mr. Peter Norton, and everybody knows Moo Moo. He's over there pouting. I'm just kidding, he's not pouting. Bobby, is this your first time in an LS powered car?
It is.
Oh,
And I found a quarter.
oh, is it heads up?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good to
You're money
go.
ahead already.
So we got a twin turbo 5.3. It's got top fuel hoops. Let's just go ahead and tell them about your cars real quick. Peter has recently acquired 3 race cars. We've got a ProCharge big block, a ProCharge big block, twin turbo LS, radial car, backside no prep car / frontside no prep car, frontside no prep car. And I've made passes in this one, and now it will not even begin to work today for some reason. This one won't go down the track. This one, 3rd time's a charm, right?
Absolutely.
So Bobby's gonna make his first snow prep pass in a G-body LS powered car. You've been known to get a little wild in an S10, I've heard.
No.
You were at the first War in the Woods no prep, I heard.
I was.
I was there. All right, good luck, Bobby. Yeah. Like a pro. Shit.
You alright?
He saved it. That's not what we wanted. I feel like we definitely had the right driver in the car.
No, block's gone.
Good job, Mr. Bob.
Block's gone. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Yeah. What came off? Block. Oh, that ain't no good. The tour block?
oh, dude. Yeah, broke a rod or something.
The tour block? It broke it? When I hit this thing the second time, it's my off and puts me back in the seat. No way we went. I did.
You would have reached if you would have waited for the chip.
Yeah,
you didn't make it to the
Yeah, you definitely did not.
Yeah, look over there.
I was trying.
Fucking Bobby, boy, you had a blast though, didn't you?
well, if you probably guessed, that was it for the Malibu. The tune-up in it was what came in the car. I was under an impression. I was told that the car had billet aluminum rods, but it in fact came with a set of billet aluminum rods with the car. It had cheap H-beam rods in it. So I turned the boost safety on, but for some reason that did no good. So that crapped the rods out of it first pass, but I was also having a lot of trouble with the Camaro. It was here for months, and the trans brake solenoid, the shifter, I mean, I went and tested it. Everything worked great, but as soon as I pulled it out of the trailer there for testing, the trans brake solenoid quit working, the electric shifter wouldn't work, and then it wouldn't even start. So I spent most of the first day actually just trying to get it to run and go in reverse and shift itself, which I never actually ended up getting it to shift itself. Turns out it was a bad shift solenoid, so we ended up changing that. Either way, I finally got it was a bad ground connection. We changed the trans brake solenoid, but the actual ground connector that I put back on the new solenoid for some reason was bad. So ended up changing that, getting that working, and here is the first pass in the Camaro with all the changes.
Good?
Yep. Good buddy. 2 bad rides.
Gosh.
I felt my cheeks shoving past my skull, like my cheekbones are gonna come out of my skin. That's how many G-forces this thing, and it's blowing my eardrums out. This is the coolest thing I've ever driven. I probably look like that kid, like, "Ah!" And then the stupid chutes didn't come out. $450. 116, and I let out early. Woo! That's as fast as I've been before, but that pass felt more G-forces than I've ever felt in my life. I felt like my cheekbones were gonna poke through my face. I feel like I have no heartbeat. How do you feel about your first real drag? 551.
Done cocaine, but it's fine.
Hell yeah. Ladies and gents, we're here for day 2. Coltina is getting back in Johnny. How do you feel about the return of the Mac?
I don't know yet. About to tell you.
Just a few preventative maintenance things that we're gonna do. We're gonna put some plugs in this thing, put some timing in it, turn up the launch, and then I think we're gonna put slicks on that Nova in that trailer, and maybe even go to Cincy Street Nights, but that's all to be determined. We got some ugly Fort Waynians here and some Wabashians, but we're here and we're hanging out. Come on, we're gonna make some passes, do some testings. Johnny, back. How'd it feel?
Good. Smooth.
I can't believe it went as good as it did, to be
I
honest.
left and I was like, oh wow, it actually hooked. We're going.
It actually looked kind of like the old Johnny. We just gotta put some power.
Like it.
We gotta put some power in him now.
Yeah, it felt like the old Johnny.
Heck, everything else was good.
Yeah, it felt smooth. It was just really hard to get stopped. But other than that,
Look good.
Yeah, feel like John Moran. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drop the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Moran. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats.
Are you happy, bud?
I've been trying to get it, running up all these digits, and I've been in the gym, I've been up doing minutes, I put in that work,
All right, we're back here for day 3, Muncie Dragway. Today, we're putting slicks on this unit right here. And we're gonna see what we can do with it. Testing yesterday did not go so well with the Camaro. It just was kind of fighting us. We're trying different bar angles and trying to make it go faster, and we didn't end up going faster. But we've got a game plan for today. Johnny is back. Johnny came back and did what Johnny does. He went right down. So it's nice to have Johnny back. We're gonna make passes in the Camaro and the Nova and Johnny again today. Then we might go testing at Edgewater tomorrow and hit Cincy Street Nights Friday. So we literally went Monday to Friday every day at the racetrack. It's not a bad week, so we're gonna keep trucking away and try to get these cars figured out because we're not where we want to be yet. That's all she wrote for testing, boys. The testing went pretty dang good. We started making pretty good progress with the Camaro. It's not where we want it to be. So we're actually going to Cincinnati tonight to test, and we're going to race tomorrow at Cincy Street Nights. So I'm getting ready to unload the red Camaro now. I'm going to change the ProCharger oil, change the rear tires because we put a bunch of passes on those. I'm going to fix some, the steering wheel's not straight, so I'm going to fix that. and the shifter's not, the electric shifter's not working. So I'm going to also fix that too. So gonna get that stuff done on the red Camaro, and then Pete's bringing over the Nova so I can finally put the slicks on it, because we got it out like 5 times yesterday to put the slicks on it, and it kept raining every time. So yesterday it wasn't a bust, but we didn't get as much done as we wanted to because the weather did not permit. So trying to play catch up today, then go testing tonight, and then go racing tomorrow.